I'm Jake.
I'm Tom.
And we are VIMTV, Velocities in Music. You may notice we are sitting in different seats. That's because it's a century episode 200.
Woo!
We've been doing this a while now.
Yeah.
Today, for our 200th episode, Phil Selway, the drummer of Radiohead. Familial. Is that how you say it, right?
Familial, yeah.
Yeah. And if you're expecting Radiohead, you're gonna be sorely disappointed. If you're expecting anything besides folky, Nick Drake, Beck Sea Change-esque, folk rock, you're gonna be kind of disappointed. And that's exactly what this is. This is very polished, and it's actually getting, I would say lower than what I would expect.
Yeah.
Reviews and aggregate scores out there on Metacritic.com, and a lot of the criticism is that it's not enough like Radiohead. It's not enough like something Tom or Johnny would do. And I think that personally is kind of ridiculous.
Either way, you're letting it influence you too much. The fact that this guy is in Radiohead. The big important thing with Familial is that you need to take it for what it is. Because there's too many people out there saying, this needs to sound more like Radiohead, so I don't like it as much. And there's a lot of people out there saying, oh, well, since it's the drummer of Radiohead, the fact that he's in Radiohead makes them listen to it a little differently, like they're going to like it a little better.
Right.
But really, it shouldn't matter who. It could be Joe Hobo on the corner making this album, and it should be just as good to you, really. So just take it for what it is.
And what it is 10 tracks of folkiness, very focused. And I actually read somewhere that Phil made a comment that he took out, any of his songs, predetermined before, producing and scaling them down and stuff. He actually took out anything that made this sound remotely like Radiohead. He wanted to separate himself from Radiohead.
And I think he does a good job
I think he does.
His voice especially, he's got a very good voice.
He has an excellent voice. Definitely you can tell it's influenced by Tom.
Yeah.
But it's an awesome voice, and I think most people will enjoy the vocals.
You don't even get a lot of a heavy British accent in it. It's pretty clean. It's nice and low, just kind of whispering, a lot of the time.
Yeah, and in the song, a lot of the content about these songs, these are folky, earthy sounding songs, very acoustic driven, lots of some atmospherics being in there with some strings. But what it really comes down to is the content of the lyrics and Phil's voice and how he emotes some of the lyrics and his vocal delivery. It's these songs are all about his family and him growing older, and some of the songs, he's talking to his sons, and I find that to be quite moving, and especially at first. Now, for me, Tom, over time, the more I listen, I got to the 5th, 6th listen to this, and it didn't quite mean as much to me. It was like, it was almost too focused. These songs are really very structured. You can tell that everything was done with a lot of intent, which is part and parcel with Radiohead. Yeah. But where that works for Radiohead, because it helps kind of round out and control their spastic and expansive sound, it kind of closes, acoustic music is supposed to feel natural, and it kind of makes this not feel natural. Also, you pointed out to me that it's a little short.
Yeah, it's barely over 30 minutes. I feel like, he should have let loose a little bit. You were saying that he was trying hard not to make it sound like Radiohead. Well, it's almost like he might have overcompensated a little bit and restricted himself, rather than just kind of being like, I'm going to do what I want to do. I think that it might be a little better if there were maybe 1 or 2 more tracks, but more importantly, I would almost rather him take 2 or 3 of these tracks, make them a little longer, go a few more places with them, and then, rather than having all these songs that are like between 2 and 4 minutes, have a couple that maybe go up to 5, and have some variations in the structure, add another section to some of these songs, and I feel like it would have made it move a lot better.
Yeah, and I found several of these tracks to be quite moving. I'm only going to pick 3 since it's a shorter album. My tracks were track 6, Patron Saint. I really, really like that. That's probably my overall favorite. Track 9, Don't Look Down, and track 10, The Witching Hour. I thought that was a good closer.
I am going to go with track 3, Simple Life. That one's my definite favorite. Track 4, All Eyes on You, and track 6, Patron Saint.
Yeah, he's a good songwriter.
Yeah.
And this was quite surprising because you're thinking it's the drummer from Radiohead. It's a surprise. I'm feeling like, he did a very good job on Familial. It's nothing, but it's contextual. He didn't set out to change the world of music. He just made a very personal album, folk rock album, and I think he did a good job. I'm going to give him a 78.
I'm going to give it a 76 for the same reasons.
And solid effort, and if you're interested and you like acoustic folky music, or if you just want to check out what the drummer of Radiohead's doing nowadays, this is a good play. Definitely worth a spin or two. I think that wraps it up.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Did this surprise you? You know, hearing Phil Selway come out with a full, kind of very, very minimalistic album, or do you like it? Tell us at www.velocitiesinmusic.com or leave us a comment on our YouTube channel. I'm Jake.
I'm Tom.
We are VIMTV, concluding our 200th episode. Woo! We are moving music critique forward.